Despite international criticism, the Taliban regime has released more restrictions, rather imposed more restrictions on Afghan women. Now, in the next 10 days, believe it or not, beauty salons for women will have to be shut down. All women have been banned from working in malls. And these have been ordered by the Vice and Virtue Department. Now, this was brought back by the Taliban in place of the Ministry of the Women's Affairs. This was essentially what the Talibanis did when they assumed power. They renamed the Women's Welfare Department to the Vice and Virtue Department in their country. And this new ministry has become a symbol of women's oppression. The department has directed all landowners to stop renting out space to women's hair salons. They've been branded as seditious, and they claim that they contradict Sharia rules as the Taliban understands the Sharia. Now, after the new diktat, Australia has pulled out of an upcoming one-day series against Afghanistan. The men's team was to play their Afghan counterparts in a three-match series in the month of March in the United Arab Emirates, but citing Taliban's clampdown and oppression on women's rights, the team has now decided to skip this one-day international series as a sign of protest. And the decision has, of course, not gone down well with the Afghans. The cricket board has, of course, called it extremely pathetic. The pace bowler Naveen-ul Haq has said, when a country is going through so much, in place of being supportive, you want to take the only reason of happiness from them. Now, since coming to power in August 2021, the Taliban have categorically gone back on pretty much all of their promises that they had made in terms of how they had changed, especially with respect to women's issues. Women have virtually vanished from all public spaces in Afghanistan. And here's a list of places that Afghan women have been barred from. The girls have been barred from attending secondary school. They've been barred from attending private and public universities. Women have been barred from most government jobs. Women have been barred from working with local and international NGOs. Women have been disallowed from going to parks, to gyms, and even to fairs. And now salons and malls are also out of bounds for them. In the few places that women are allowed to go, there are conditions that have been imposed. Traveling without a male relative is not allowed, and they must cover up with a burqa or a hijab in all public spaces. Now, remember, when the Taliban stormed power on the 15th of August in 2021, they had promised that they were going to be different this time around. They had said that this is Taliban 2.0 and this is going to be a different version of itself. But it turns out that this, of course, is a case of old wine in a new bottle. The supreme leader, Mullah Omar, had imposed very similar rules when the Taliban had stormed power back in the 1990s. Women were forced to cover their bodies. They were barred from being in public spaces. They were virtually seen as second-class citizens, and he had justified this according to what he understood was the Islamic Sharia law. So Afghanistan in 2023 looks pretty much exactly like what it did under the Taliban in the second half of the 1990s. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.